Hey everyone, it's Andreas Kuba here from Future Systems. Today we're going to show you how to connect your Schlage Ease S2 smart lock to Wi-Fi. We have the Wi-Fi bridge here. As standard, it comes as Bluetooth, but if you want Wi-Fi, you need this little Wi-Fi bridge. Let's connect that and let's get you connected to your Wi-Fi lock. First things first, we need to connect the Bluetooth from the Schlage Ease S2 to the Abode app. So the app name is called Schlage Abode. If you haven't downloaded that, go do that now. It's available on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. So let's jump onto that now. Let's connect the Bluetooth to the app. Then we can connect the Wi-Fi bridge to the same lock. Let's go to the app now. So once you've downloaded the app, you're going to be prompted to create an account. So you're going to need an email address and a password. Make sure you write these down and keep them close at hand because you're going to need these in the future. So create an account and then it's going to prompt you to add a lock. And let's add that lock now. So add device, you can have an option of a smart lock or the Abode Wi-Fi bridge. So right now we're connecting the lock. This is the Bluetooth of the lock to the app. So I'm going to click smart lock and then it's going to prompt you to put your palm over the faceplate of the lock. This enables the Bluetooth. Now the Bluetooth is live and I can go next. And then what you should see is you should see your lock appear. It'll show up. It might take a couple of seconds and now it says ready to pair. So you should see your lock there if you have activated your Bluetooth on there and you have the option to pair your lock to the Bluetooth on your phone and it's going to ask you for the master code. So the master code as default, I believe comes as 12345. You can change this directly on the lock and if you haven't changed it, you can do that now or after. I've already changed mine. So my master code for this demo is 2580. I'll show you that now. 2580 hash. Now it's unlocked. So what it's asking me is asking me to enter that master code to pair it to the lock. So I'm going to enter that code. On here it is 2580. For you it's going to be different. It's either the default or the one you've already created. So most likely it's the default. If not, you can go back and you can look at the instructions for the lock and you can connect or change, that master code on the lock. So I'm clicking next and now it says pairing. So my phone and its Bluetooth is looking for the Bluetooth of the lock right now. That says here it's going to take about 20 seconds. And so hopefully that is true and you should see it appear. Correct, I've been successful and it is paired to the Bluetooth. Now it's asking me to name the lock. For this example, I'm just going to call it front door. Done. Now I have this lock in my app on my phone. I'm using an iOS phone, so based on an Android, iOS, you should see very similar things. And now that I'm connected via Bluetooth, which has a range of about 15 to 10 meters, I can unlock this lock with my phone. Let's give that a try now. Currently, it's locked, and if I push on the button here, it's now unlocked, and I can open the door on there. So that's the Bluetooth side, that's connected, and once it's connected, now I have a lot more options in the app. From the app, I can change the master code. From the app, I can change the name. From the app, I can give out temporary codes, give out time codes, codes that expire after a certain set of time. Then this is Bluetooth, and you're 50% of the way there. Next thing we need to do, now that you've got the Bluetooth connected, is connect the Wi-Fi bridge. And so let's jump onto that now. So this next step is a bit of a pro tip, and I'd recommend this before connecting the Wi-Fi bridge, is to update the lock itself. So most locks don't come with its automatic, the latest updates. You often have to do that update, and that's what we're gonna do now. So I'm in the app, and I can see my lock, which is called front door. I'm just gonna click on the general middle of the button on my front door. It's gonna open a bigger view of my lock, and then you can see here the settings. You're gonna press the settings cog here, and then you can see an arrow next to your front door lock under basic settings. I'm gonna click my lock. It's going to go across. You're going to see the ability to change the name. You're going to be able to change the master code, and you'll see a software update there. So that right now it's going to say, is the lock connected? If your lock has disconnected, again, the way to reconnect it is to enable the Bluetooth, and that should reconnect it. And so now it's prompting me, the newest version is coming, S2 version 1.01.001. Let's update the lock before we connect the Wi-Fi bridge, and that should make sure that this actually connects the first time, which is very important. So make sure you do this update before going to the next step of connecting this. Pro tip. Now that we've updated the lock to the latest version, we're going to connect the Wi-Fi bridge. So it's a little socket Wi-Fi bridge which can plug straight into a power socket. I would highly recommend you put this close to the front door, close to where the lock is physically, but also, if possible, close to your Wi-Fi or where your strongest Wi-Fi signal is. Often for people, their Wi-Fi comes into the garage door, sometimes it could be an office, but as best you can, put this in a good location that's close to the lock, but also where you have a good amount of Wi-Fi strength. So this again goes straight into the wall socket, and then we'll jump back into the app. I'm gonna plug this into the wall now. So once we have the Wi-Fi bridge plugged into a power socket, you'll see an LED indicator start flashing. This could take about 30 seconds. One pro tip is make sure your phone is connected to your Wi-Fi network. The Wi-Fi network you're gonna connect the Wi-Fi bridge to. So make sure your phone is connected, that's very important. Then we're gonna go jump back into the app, and we're gonna connect this lock to the Wi-Fi network. So again, if the lock is not activated on the Bluetooth, you can enable it again, go into the app, look for the cog, and look for an option called Wi-Fi bridge pairing. I'm gonna press that now, and it says add Wi-Fi bridge. It's gonna ask me, is the Wi-Fi bridge flashing? It is, and so I can click, it is flashing. So this is attempting to connect and attempting to find the Wi-Fi network that my phone is currently on. If there are any prompts, I'll just say allow those. There might be one that says allow it to join or give it an okay. Make sure you allow the bridge to connect to the network that your phone is currently on. Bit of a pro tip, if your Wi-Fi bridge fails to connect to your lock and you've tried it a few times, you've tried it 3 or 4 or 5 times, a pro tip is to reset your Wi-Fi. Just go to your router, whatever that is, and just give it a power cycle. Turn it on and turn it off. More often than not, we've found this works perfectly, and then the next attempt that we do, attempting to pair, works perfectly. So I'm just gonna turn my Wi-Fi off. So I've turned my Wi-Fi back on now, and this should help you connect your Wi-Fi bridge to your lock if it hasn't worked in the past. You should be good to go. Now it's put up a list of Wi-Fi networks that are obviously near my house, and it'll also have my Wi-Fi network in it. So I can see mine. Make sure you look down the list, find your Wi-Fi network, the name of it, and select that one. It's then going to ask you to enter the Wi-Fi password that is for your Wi-Fi network. So I won't tell you what mine is, but you know what your Wi-Fi password is. Enter that in now, and then allow it to join your Wi-Fi. So if you've failed to connect your Wi-Fi bridge to your lock and you need to reset the Wi-Fi bridge, on the side here is a small button. You press this down for about 3 to 4 seconds, and this LED indicator, which is a solid blue, will flash red and blue. So I'm going to press that now. And you'll see it is now flashing. This is resetting the Wi-Fi bridge, and so you may have to do this 1 or 2 times, but also back to the pro tip, try a power cycle for your Wi-Fi network. Turn your router on and off, reset the Wi-Fi bridge, and start the process over again. If you do this 1 or 2 times and you're still having issues, you can reach out to us, but this should solve your problems of being unable to connect your bridge to your lock. Give this a try, and I'm very confident it'll help. So I've entered my Wi-Fi password, and now it's doing the final step of attempting to join the bridge from my phone's Wi-Fi network to the lock and bringing them all together. Success. Now my lock is connected to my Wi-Fi from my phone, and in theory, I'll be able to unlock this lock from anywhere in the world. As long as this Wi-Fi bridge has power, this lock has Wi-Fi. So it's also going to ask me to name my Wi-Fi bridge. So you can name that whatever you want. You can just say, I'm just going to call it front door Wi-Fi. That's done. And now it's giving me the option to bind lock to Wi-Fi bridge. So enable the Bluetooth again on my lock. Done. It's been assigned. Just follow the prompts in the app and you shouldn't go wrong. Take your time, read what it's prompting you to do, and then follow that step accordingly, and you should have no issues. Perfect. The front door Wi-Fi is online. That means my lock has Wi-Fi, and I am away. If you want to test it, you can also just turn off your phone's Wi-Fi, jump onto the 3 or 4G that you have, and test that the Wi-Fi bridge is working, because what that in theory mimics that you are away from your Wi-Fi network, and you can test that the bridge is still connected, and so your 3 or 4G will search for that bridge, and then your bridge will communicate to your lock, and it will unlock your front door. Just remember, your lock also has an automatic lock function, so maybe make sure that's turned on, because you also don't want to unlock your lock remotely and then forget to lock it again. So just make sure you take the appropriate safety measures when using Wi-Fi and giving access to your home for anyone. Make sure you know that your front door is locked after you've unlocked it.